Yeah, huge difference. This is actually what surprises a lot of contractors is they actually don't realize that these statistics are true. They're actually missing all these calls, all these opportunities, all these jobs. Yeah, most contractors don't have a lead problem. They got plenty of referrals, word of mouth, local community kind of knows about them. They've been been in business for a long time, so they got plenty of jobs coming in. But there's still opportunity being left. They have a missed opportunity problem. And the crazy part is that most don't even realize how much money they're actually losing from something as simple as like missing a phone call or not having enough reviews or something like that. Yeah, they're a massive deal. I mean, there are studies showing that, service-based businesses, especially contractors, miss somewhere between like 25 and 35% of their calls. That means that like one out of every three people trying to give a contractor money never even get a response. And the problem that that leads up to is that 70 to 80% of those customers just call the next business. So, I mean, especially if you don't answer the first time. So it's not just a missed call, it's a lost job. Yeah, it really depends on the business. So, I mean, it adds up fast too. So let's say the average job is somewhere between like, $1,000 to $3,000. And that's kind of normal for a lot of like a lot of trades, a lot of contractors, roofers, plumbers. Jobs can range. And dog groomers a little bit less, maybe like complete like construction work a little bit more. But let's say you're missing 10 calls a week, and only three out of four of those would have turned into jobs, right? So that's easy, like between 4 to 10 grand per month that you're missing in revenue. So over a year, you're looking at $50 to $100,000 in lost revenue just because of missed opportunities. It's like stuff just slipping through the cracks because you're too busy or you got something going on. And most contractors never even see it happening. Why do they miss it? Well, they honestly, it's not a skill issue. It's a time issue. So, I mean, most contractors are busy, right? They're like on job sites, or they're driving, or they're managing crews, or they're dealing with customers directly. They're talking to somebody and their phone rings and they just can't answer it, being rude to the customer, right? So when the phone actually rings, they physically can't answer it. And that's actually backed up by data too. So peak missed calls for service-based businesses, especially contractors, they happen during normal working hours. So this is exactly when contractors are their busiest, is during like that 9 to 5 grind. Voicemails, not anymore. I would say less than a third of the people like even leave voicemails now. And even when they do, response time matters, right? So, I mean, there's data actually showing that if you respond to a lead within 5 minutes, you're 20 times more likely to convert them, compared to like if you wait for 30 minutes or an hour. So by the time you check your voicemail and call back, the customer's already gone. The opportunity is already passed. That customer's already moved to the next person on Google. The solution, I mean, systems. This is where systems come into play, right? Because the goal isn't for you to answer every call. It's to make sure that every lead gets an immediate response. So, for example, someone calls, they instantly get a text back, or they submit a form and they instantly get confirmation via, and they still get a response. So now, instead of losing that lead, you're keeping them engaged until you can actually talk to them again. Yeah, huge difference. This is actually what surprises a lot of contractors is they actually don't realize that these statistics are true. They're actually missing all these calls, all these opportunities, all these jobs. And businesses that respond quickly, especially within the first few minutes, I mean, they increase conversion rates by up to like typically customers move on so quick that they don't realize that they've already like they lost a call or they lost that job. So it's not just about like getting leads. It's It's usually about how fast you can respond to, especially to the ones you already have. I I don't think they realize it's happening. I mean, most customers that we work with are shocked. Like they don't realize they're missing so many leads, so many jobs. They think, I need more leads, but in reality, they already have leads coming in. They're just not capturing them. Not capturing them properly. It's like pouring water in a bucket with a bunch of holes in it, right? You're catching some of it, but you're missing quite a bit, and you just don't realize it. Most contractors just don't. You know, these holes need to be fixed, and that's where systems come into play. Yeah, so if you're a contractor and you feel like you should be busier, you're not getting enough jobs, or your phone just isn't turning into work, there's a really good chance it's not a lead problem. You have a missed opportunity problem, and once you fix that, everything changes.